Welcome to Empire Consulting Group. This video today is focusing on the ultimate retirement calculator that we provide for anyone who would really like to understand what they need to do to achieve their long-term financial goals. We're going to take you through a very quick walkthrough so you can get used to the calculator, you know how to work it, and hopefully you'll find it extremely interesting and beneficial. So we put together this calculator because essentially most investors are not getting the return that they need, and more importantly, they do not even know the rate of return that they need to get to achieve their goals. So in order to quantify your real investment needs and understand whether you have a shortfall, if you need to be more aggressive, or if you can afford to be more conservative, we need to put in the personal information. First of all, we have our age. So age at the end of the current year, let's say 40 years old. The age that you plan to retire, let's say we're going to work until age 60. Entering life expectancy, the average life expectancy is around 85, but you can put whatever you want. Desired annual retirement income. Now this will vary from person to person, but let's assume that at age 60, I want to have an income of $8,000 a month so I can cover my healthcare, traveling, maybe holidays with my kids, maybe helping my kids here and there. Let's say the value is around $8,000 a month. So that would be $96,000 per year. So the next part is about a drawdown, reducing your income need over time. At the moment, we're going to leave this to one side because it starts to get a little bit more complex if we go into these deeper details. But the calculator is extremely comprehensive and provides that possibility. Also, desired estate is a very personal issue. Some people wish to leave an estate behind for their family and their kids. Other people don't have that requirement. So we're going to leave that blank as well. Next, we go to the estimated average annual rate of inflation. This is one of the most important parts of a calculator, and this is where most people underestimate their real needs. Right now, global inflation is extremely low. However, with money printing and the state of the economy, we do expect inflation to be much higher in years to come. So let's say that the developed world is seeing inflation of around 1 to 2%. We believe inflation is going to increase over the long term. So let's say we will estimate, for example, an average rate of inflation of 3%. If we overestimate inflation, you will end up with more money than you had planned for if inflation doesn't reach that level. However, if you underestimate inflation, you will not have the required income you desire. So it's always better to slightly overestimate the rate of inflation to be conservative with the numbers. Now we come down to our retirement funding. So we need to calculate the total retirement savings we have. This will not include a liquid asset or money that wouldn't be invested. So for example, I'm not going to put any property related assets in here, but let's say my total accumulated wealth is $350,000. Current monthly savings contributions, this is how much I can actually afford to be saving. So let's say that I save $2,500 a month. And the age that I will stop contributing will be age 60 when I retire. My expected average annual return on investment, let's use the figure that you're getting today as a starting point. I'm getting around 11%, but most people will probably be 6% or lower. So let's start off with 6. Estimated tax rate during retirement is very difficult. Some people won't pay tax. Some people pay a very high rate of tax. I'll leave this blank for the time being. Now we calculate. The calculation shows me that if inflation is at 3% and I'm growing my $350,000 at 6% and I'm contributing every month $2,500, then I have a shortfall of $2,223 to reach my target. My total required monthly saving is $4,733. My current saving is $2,500. So here is the shortfall. So either I need to save more or I need to make one of two decisions. Either I need to search for a better rate of return on my investment, or I need to expect to retire later. Let's imagine that I couldn't find a better return for my investments. Well, then what would that mean? If we put the rate of retirement at age 65, we pretty much get to where we want to be. You'll see that I miss out just by $12. As long as I can increase my savings by $12 a month, then I will hit my target by age 65. But what happens if I cannot work after age 60, if I lose my job at age 60? Well, then we must try and improve the numbers by increasing performance. We hope that you found the calculator beneficial and interesting, and feel free to play around with it as much as you wish. Let's imagine that I'm getting now an 8% growth on my investment. Well, we'll see that increase of 2% annual return has solved my problem. It's exactly $2,500 a month that is required to achieve my goals and allow me an income of $8,000 a month until age 85. Let's imagine that we underestimated inflation and inflation ended up being 4%. Well, then we see that even though we were on target at 8% growth at 3% inflation, with an increase of 1% inflation, we had needed to be saving an extra $830 a month. The purpose of this calculator is to help you understand the real rate of growth that you need to achieve. By playing around with the numbers, it should give you a much better expectation of what you need to do to achieve your goals, and better expectation of when you will be able to retire. And also it should highlight the real importance of reviewing your savings and investments on a regular basis in order to make sure that you don't fall off track and that you can adjust to any changes in the economy or the performance on your investments, so that you don't go too far off track and you can try and stay on target for your long-term investment goals. If anything is unclear, please feel free to reach out to us. There is a meeting request button on our website. Feel free to schedule a meeting or request a call back, and we will get in touch with you and answer any questions that you may have.